So coming out versus WMF, I know that he's a U-Trips player, and I'm really experienced versus U-Trips. I've played it a lot. Master Gamer and D-Croft really put this formation on the map, and I've played D-Croft plenty of times. I've played a lot of people running U-Trips in general, and I always tell people, and I'll pause it here, so we can kind of just discuss the strategy. So you always got to know kind of what the best routes are in a formation, and kind of what the downfalls of a formation are. So again, I've always considered U-Trips a pretty sim formation, and what I mean by that is, there's no super glitchy routes that you're gonna fear. Like when you're playing versus trips tight end, or you're playing bunch, all of a sudden you're like, man, I don't want to play versus verticals, or I don't want to play versus the PA counter go. You got the great crossers and bunch. You got all these wheel routes that you really feel like you have to kind of almost double team, a lot of the receivers to fully stop a certain route. Whereas in U-Trips, that's not really like that. You can dedicate, if you know a wheel route is coming, you can kind of dedicate one defender to stop them. Well, maybe not the running back wheel route, those are really good, but I'm saying like from a receiver, again, if you know a certain route is coming, you can really allocate one defender to stop the receiver. So kind of the downside of that philosophy of motioning over to kind of multiply the number of possibilities you can run on offense is, a lot of times, especially in U-Trips more than trips, is there's going to be certain parts of the field that you cannot attack when somebody goes in motion. And that's something to keep track of. And a lot of people aren't thinking strategically to where, okay, I want to be sure I can attack all parts of the field. They kind of overlook, okay, I'm motioning this over to attack really this part of the field, and then they forget you can't really attack certain parts of the field when somebody goes in motion. And you're going to see me, take advantage of that defensively as this game goes on. So here on the first play, I've played WMF before, and I came out, inside third out of cover 2. So I took my strong safety. I put him, again, into that inside third because I know he likes to do that cover 2 beater, to start off a game. He loves that outside fade versus cover 2. Then he'll streak the slot. So that's where you saw me inside third early and kind of leave nobody over the top on the lone side. I know that fade he has in U-Trips, again, will get outside the cover 2. That's one of the main worries of U-Trips. That's probably the best route. That's the route that's like, man, I'm scared of that route. Because it does do a great job of getting outside cover 2. So that's where you saw me moving over my safety. But again, I kind of disguised it to where I put him in my outside guy in an outside quarter. But again, here, when you motion, I'm going to pause it here to explain this. So when you motion over this outside receiver in U-Trips, again, mainly you're looking to target over the middle of the field. And a lot of routes are going to be crossing. So, I always like to blitz it. Blitz 5, blitz 6 when they motion over like this, or I know that they're not really going to be able to attack on the U-Trip side of the formation. Again, here, you're going to see me, I'm going to man up, the right half of the field, and I'm going to have a hard flat or like a 5-yard purple underneath. Because, again, once you man up, that's the only way they can attack the right sideline here is with that corner route from the slot mainly. But if you just man that guy up, again, he's not going to get open on the corner route. And it also helps you, if they're running a post over the middle of the field. So, again, it's kind of a 2-in-1 strategy where, it's going to help you in multiple situations. So, and here I'm going to hard flat man up R1, and you're going to see the man up complete just bags him. And it's going to make it difficult for him to flood the trip side of the formation. So here, I'm going to be on bunch on offense again. Easily the best offense in the game. Again, bunch, it just has all the best routes in the game, honestly. All the best stock routes. Like, just having to play like verticals. And people kind of have to sell out for that play, and it just opens everything else up. And I've always felt that way about bunch is a lot of times in bunch, the dots are already cooked up for you, and you just got to kind of come out and snap it. That's really how it is. And that just opens up so many other plays because you just feel like you have to overcommit to one play. And I don't feel like Madden should be like that. Again, I feel like there should be a fairly reasonable counter to every play. And that's why bunch is so powerful, is because a lot of times you can kind of mix in like 3 to 4 plays and kind of rotate them. And it can be really difficult because of just how effective, the routes are on that play. And especially in verticals this year, it's just an insane play. So, Again, here we get to a big play in the game, and a lot of people on bunch you'll see use a hitch route, regardlessly, and it's just like, I don't know why they would do that, but I guess, you know, you can kind of playmaker, you know, the hitch into the open spot of the field. I kind of just like having, you know, the underneath option run directly into the user's portion of the field. So he feels like he has to go and guard that part, and that's that route, and that's what happens here is because he knows the user's vacant area of the field is going to be where he's using at. So again, if he goes up with this crosser, again, he knows that he's leaving his responsibility, which is his in route underneath. So it kind of just puts the user in a dilemma. So that's why I kind of like the in route there instead of the hitch. And it opens up this crosser for me, and I have this crosser. Again, this is lack of repetition for me, or lack of reps. Again, I really, you know, I hadn't played this game in like a month, and besides like 2 days before this event. And I had this, I just got to wait a little bit longer on that. Again, it's just bad timing by me. Threw it too early. I had it if I waited. So there are going to be some growing pains there. But here, I'm going to get semi-aggressive here on defense. But I know I have a good feeling for what he's doing. So again, anytime you man up this, again, this corner, this slot receiver 23, anytime he loves his corner route. Again, even if I man up a safety onto that player, again, he's going to play that corner route really well because the corner route just runs so... It's not a really smooth, quick cutting corner route, so even a safety manned up onto that guy can play that corner route really well. And also, too, again, I can play any streaks. I can play any curls if I do that. So, you know, that's why you saw me man him up there. Then we were able to get the blitz in as well, get him to a big 2nd and 21, and he goes no huddle. And I believe he's going to motion over circle here. So, again, anytime we don't have to worry about a corner route to the tight end side of the field here. Again, that corner route from the slot isn't that good, so I can really hard flat and man up the right side here. I don't know if that's so I blitz 6 here, so that is another option. So again, I had my cloud flats on. I believe I had my cloud flats on 20 because he went, you know, no huddle there. But again, I know that, you know, when they motion over the outside receiver in U trips, a lot of times it's just routes crossing. So like I believe I said this early in the video. But so I will blitz 6 versus that when I see it. I feel like, you know, I don't want someone to do what they're comfortable doing. Again, I want them to think past what they usually have to do. And I think that's a lot harder to do offensively, even for a lot of the best offensive players. So again, here, you're going to see me, I'm going to man up the left side besides that outside receiver. Because again, that outside receiver, again, he's usually... just in case he runs some sort of corner route or like out route to that side, because just manning up my safety onto the tight end, that's not going to stop like an out route. But if I have like a hard flat out here, that is going to stop that tight end out route. So that's where you're going to see me hard flat that outside corner. And I'm not worried about any streak routes. Again, this guy always, it's curls, hitches. He doesn't really streak his outside receiver when he's down here. So you see me, again, he has the flat and then hitches everywhere. So just perfect defense here. Again, he probably could have hit the other curl. Did have Acro over there, but I probably wouldn't have got to it. Again, that was just a terrible pass by him, honestly. Again, 2nd and goal at 16 again. This is why bunch just is so good. Every year it has one of these type of plays. Last year it was Z-Spot, where I felt like I had to triple team one player just to stop a corner route. And then if you do that, everything else, it just opens up everything else. And that's why, again, it's pretty easy to run. You know, as long as you're able to make the proper reads, it's usually pretty easy to run bunch for, especially this year, because again, this honestly was good defense, but on Madden 22, that is not good defense. Again, he has a guy manned up, but you can just low ball it directly at the defender, and I scored. And this is actually a really good play coming here from WMF. So again, what I've been doing is kind of hard flatting the trip side and just kind of manning up the slot, so he couldn't really run a flood concept to that side of the field. And a flood concept, again, it's just, you know, having a low route and then a high route on one side of the field, just to kind of take advantage of there only being one defender to guard the sideline, and that's like a flat zone out there. So you're going to see that a lot in competitive Madden, and then the streak pulls back to deep blue. So I'm going to have to do something differently here on defense. So I might have to start cloud flying my outside corner instead. And again, that's a good adjustment on offense there from him. Again, I do get him to a big 4th and 10, and anytime someone's needs 10 yards to go, usually in U trips, again, it's a lot of curls. It's a lot of routes that are going to get you 10 yards. So, again, the running back wheel is so popular in this situation because, again, it's great about getting 10 yards exactly. Or you're going to see a bunch of curls, or some sort of deep in route. So that's kind of what I'm anticipating here. So again, I'm manning up the slot in case of any curl, and again, cover 2 is weak down the deep middle. Excuse me. So that's why I have him manned up as well, so he can't just bomb me down the seam. Again, I have the hooks on underneath for the deep end route, like I called it play, but again, escape artist, just run with the quarterback, able to pick that up. So again, out of half here from me, and I actually started motioning out my outside receiver onto a streak and bunch. So for anybody that kind of runs the crosser and bunch, so what I noticed sometimes was, the outside quarter would play, the crossing route really well. So what I did was I actually motioned out an outside receiver on a streak just to push back that outside quarter. Because sometimes that outside quarter doesn't respect, the streak route because he's moved inside. But when you move him to the outside quarter is going to have to run with that streak. And it makes it clean for the crosser. But right here, this was super close. But guys, this is a super glitch right here. I shouted out Wesley before this play. And when you do that, you have a 3 times higher chance of not getting picked off on the play when you throw outside the pocket. Shout out to Wesley G, man. Phenomenal player. And guys, if you want to see Houdini, hey, check out that pocket. Who's doing it like that? Nobody. Yeah, I clipped that shit. You best believe I clipped it.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man? Bro, I'm out, man. That nigga's tripping.
So again, this has been one of my favorite plays the entire year. Because again, that corner route is just going to pull out the deep half, and you're going to see the deep half gets pulled out by the corner route at the last second, and we just bomb him down the seam. Hey, if you guys want to learn more about how to pull coverages, about how to kind of manipulate the zones a little bit, themanacademy.com, no better place. Again, here I move out my safety, and again, this is the best route in U-trips by far. Again, I moved out my safety as cover 2. Again, that outside fade's way different from a hot router fade. Again, it just does a great job of riding across the sideline, and it still gets outside my deep half even though I moved it out. So again, another big play for WMF, and I'm gonna have to tone down on those if I want to win this game. See here, another big 3rd and 1, and again, the ever so popular verticals. The running back wheel route's open, the tight end wheel is open, the crossing route's open. Shit, probably the streak is open in this game because you can just throw it up and catch him one-on-one possibly. But again, this verticals play is just so good, and you really got to test the defense with this play because again, a lot of people will not be able to stop this play. Right here, I do that. I slightly move out my safety. I actually want him to throw this outside fade. I actually did that on purpose, and it worked because now he will not be able to clock out this game. So, I want him to think like, hey, I'm slightly moving out the safety, so I'm still kind of trying to guard cover 2, but he knows that even if I slightly move out the safety, that he can still throw that outside fade, and that's really what I wanted him to do. Here, I'm going to get really aggressive on defense because, again, I could care less if he scores right now on this play, but, so I'm going to kind of play, the underneath curls and hitches and all that, and that was just phenomenal defense. I'm going to go back on this. I actually cross-man my safety onto his lone side receiver here because I expected him to be in that flat, and then I have my safeties in the hook for the halfback wheel and the hitch underneath. And again, this was the play I wanted him to call, and I thought I might have been able to lurk him because who cross-mans their safety? I do. So, but again, that was a good throwaway there by him. And he's gonna motion over here again. Like I said, I just gotta man up the left side. And we hit him with the super lurk. Again, that was a bad pass there by him, honestly, too. But we had him rolling outside the pocket. Again, man, and that's where you get Simmons as your user. Again, he's just so big, and he's able to make those plays out of his range almost. Whereas, again, those smaller defenders, they're not going to be able to reach for that ball a lot of times. So that's why I've always, in general, I just love having those bigger, taller, defenders on my field. And, man, give me a second right here before I snap this ball. So, again, and I'm not going to take credit for this. So a voice came to me, and this happens all the time in these games. This voice, it'll come to me, and I'll be looking around like, where the hell did that voice come from? And it'll tell me, he's blitzing, sitting on the corner route. I'm like, hold up, are you saying I should run verticals? And then that voice is just gone. But I'm thinking to myself, I ain't ran verticals all game like that. So why would I run it here? I've been running the corner out with the streak the entire game. You know what? But I said, I'm going to follow that voice. And that voice, that's my alter ego. Last name, before it happens. First name, see it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'm going to rock out with it. And you know what? That voice that's inside me, at the end of these games, it's just never wrong. If you guys want to develop that alter ego, if you want to see it before it happens, you want to see into the future, you want to be in the first quarter, or you want your opponent to be in the first quarter while you're in the fourth quarter, themanacademy.com. They won't teach that anywhere else. Again, to officially close out this game, I just need one more first down. And my boy, OJ Howard, he gets it done. Yes, my team is terrible. I get it. You can flame me in the comments if you want. But anyways, guys, that's a good game. That's my bro. And it's going to be that way forever. Good games, bro, forever. To WMF, one of the better man players from Madden 20. One of the better man players this year, probably. And also, guys, as always, like, comment, subscribe. Comment below. What do you want to see next? What did you like about that gameplay? I'm all ears as to feedback as to what you want to see in this channel. I'm out of here.